you think that the president and China are getting close to at least doing something? Will it be a net positive? Will it have made what we went through worthwhile or not?
I think long-term, probably not. Short-term, probably a favorable bump for the market if he reaches an agreement. People will say, great, there's a deal, trade war is over. I don't think it will be. We're asking the Chinese more than they can give. And so it's going to be less than he wants. And he'll say it's the greatest ever. But a year from now, we'll see if we actually have moved the ball forward or not.
But there are certain things that they're just unable to do, systemically, would you say? Or why can't it be better?
Yes, the easy part is to have them buy more stuff. And that will be a big number, and I think the market will react favorably to that. The harder issues are what are called the structural issues. We really want them to reform their economy, to channel credit away from state-owned enterprises, stop subsidies, stop a lot of the unfair practices that they're engaging in, which most people agree is going on. There's not disagreement on the diagnosis. And the things that we're asking them to do, though, would all reduce the party's control over the Chinese people, and the party's not going to do that.
So they're worthwhile goals, but we're leaning against windmills or something, or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there are limits. Plus, in a way, it misses the point. What the Chinese have said they want to do in their book, Made in China 2025, is they want to create world-class competitors to compete against us and beat us. That's okay as a goal. Our job is to be better than they are. And our job is to run faster. And that means we ought to be looking more at third markets, because we're going to go head-to-head with them in Europe, in Asia, in Latin America, and in Africa. That's what we ought to be looking at. It's not just about what we're doing inside China. It's whether we can compete against them everywhere else.
Laura, I figure do you wish we had done nothing? Would we be better off right now, do you think?
Well, I'm not going to say that we should have done nothing. My position is that when you decide to take a policy position like imposing tariffs to incentivize a country to do something, you should do that with your eyes wide open as to what impact that's going to have, not only on the country that you're targeting, but on the American economy. You need to look at the full picture, all variables, not just the U.S. producers who might gain.
I don't think anyone thought that it wasn't going to be painful. And I don't think anyone wasn't looking at the possible negative effects it could have on the country that's trying to push back against China, right? You don't think we knew that this was going to be?
I don't think there was an appreciation of the degree to which the negative impacts were going to be there. For example, some government officials said very early on that no country would retaliate, which clearly was not the case. The analysis that the Commerce Department submitted to the president prior to the imposition of the first round of tariffs on steel and aluminum didn't include any assessment about the negative effects on other industries. It only looked at the positive effects that would happen to the steel industry. So it was very one-sided.
It's funny, the Trump administration is getting a lot of criticism that the trade deficit's widening from a lot of the same people that said you shouldn't really focus on trade deficits. And some of the same people that obstruct or were trying to obstruct any efforts to rein China in, and now they're pointing to the trade deficit as look, it's not working. So I don't know, how does that work? I mean, what should we be doing, Laura, with China? How do we counter their 2025 plans?
Well, I think there's a large group of American companies, American businesses, and policymakers who continue to argue that we need to approach it more with alliances with other trading partners through multilateral organizations, bilaterally with regional trade agreements like the Trans-Pacific Partnership that we pulled out of. Those sorts of approaches that would not isolate China, but incentivize China to do it our way, if you will, in order to be a participant in a multilateral global economy.
I think we tried that. I guess that's part of the frustration.
Yeah.
That is what I hear all the time, that, yeah, we need to do something, but we got to get other people involved and sort of tread lightly. I don't know what the answer is. I do think that one of these days we're going to look back and say, wow, they ate our lunch. And I don't, fine. They may have, they got a lot of people and they're very talented and they're, very good at commerce and trade. But if they've done it in a sort of an unfair way, and I feel like we're just sitting here kind of like chumps, just letting it happen. I don't know what the right answer is. Do you have a better idea, Bill?
Well, it's a race. If you're in a race, there's only two ways to win. You run faster or you trip the other guy.
Well, you hope that the other guy's not roided up to the, where he's, so much cheating and so much, he starts early, he doesn't run as far, and he's got, PED coming out the. And that's not, you don't lose. That's not losing a race. That's being stupid and not, not running a fair race.
You hope he's making a lot of mistakes, and I think economists will tell you that the Chinese government right now is making a lot of mistakes in terms of the way they're running their economy. Their growth is going down, is declining significantly, and their reliance on state-owned enterprises and subsidies, the very things we want them to stop, are the things that actually would improve their economy. But they get to decide that. We don't get to decide that. You can hope that the other guy screws up, but that's not really a guaranteed ticket to success. Sure, you want to go after their unfair practices. There are international rules. If they use subsidies, we can go after them. We've done that a lot, actually. Before the tariffs even started on steel, we had virtually knocked them out of our market through individual complaints, product after product after product. We complained they were either dumping or subsidizing. You can use those rules. At the end of the day, though, you still have to run faster. And that's what we need to focus on, being able to outcompete them everywhere, not just here and not just in China.